before I get started, I just want to say that I am not promoting the use of hallucinogenics. I am 15 and I have no experience on this whatsoever, but I have done my research and I just want to talk about how it can be positive in certain ways, right? So starting off with your outlook, you'll most likely say, don't do drugs. Drugs are drugs. They're just bad. And I'll agree with you on a certain level because when there's a negative, there's a positive, okay? When there's a bad, there's always a good. But what I'm trying to do here today is just change your perspective on most drugs in certain ways. So I'm going to start off by talking about how it's triggered, where it's triggered, and the potential medicine use of hallucinogenics. So where the drug is triggered is the prefrontal cortex. That part of the brain is involved with your mood, perception, and cognition. It is believed that whenever you take this drug, it affects the neurotransmitter serotonin. Now that you know where the drug triggers the brain, this is how the drug triggers the visions you see. It's a group of chemically hydrogenous compounds that are activated when you're conscious. Now, whenever we're talking about this, do not get cocaine, meth, and heroin mixed up with LSD, Molly, and shrooms. Because, for example, meth, whenever you take it, what it does, it just makes you awake, right? What I heard is that you could stay awake for days on end, so whenever you have that lack of sleep, you could start seeing things that aren't there, right? But that's just because of a lack of sleep. It's not because of chemically hydrogenous compounds. It's just because you have a lack of sleep, and whenever you do that, you get delusional, right? But whenever you take things like shrooms, LSD, and Molly, that's what happens. Anyway, so starting off with the good things that you could get from this. From the 50s to the 70s, people have been studying more on hallucinogenic drugs. In this case, we're talking about shrooms. What does shrooms have that can be potential medicine for cancer patients? A little thing called synthetic psilocybin can change their whole world. Now, synthetic psilocybin isn't a magical medicine to cure cancer. No, it's just a thing to help with depression and anxiety. So why does it matter? There's no cure for cancer. So look, there's no cure for cancer. Exactly why we should be giving cancer patients things like synthetic psilocybin, because it helps them with depression and the thought of death. Now that's a scary thought, and things like this can help with curing people with depression or with anxiety. So we should be more open-minded about things like this, because yes, it is a drug, it is illegal, but most drugs that are illegal, we still use in most of our medicines, right? So it's anyways, so the cancer patients, right? It's not for they will not see visions. It doesn't do that. It's just something that triggers in the brain that just makes you happy, like dopamine, right? Anyway, I just tried and stunt the negative thoughts on hallucinogenics in general, but all I can say is I went over the visions, how they're triggered, how it'll be played out, and how it can be a medicine in the future. But hallucinogenics can be negative if you use it in an unhealthy way, but with the right research and the right studies, you can end up for a cure depression and anxiety without any bad trips. Okay, thank you.